Hello, my name is Miss Stephanie, and we are so excited to be premiering our last summer reading video for our Grab and Go Teen Kits. But don't worry, we will have more starting in September, and hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed, we will be able to also see you in person. And so on today, we have a grab and go kit. It's called Let's Get Cooking with Ross. And so inside your kit, it will be either a blue bag or a yellow bag. Hopefully you were able to pick it up. Inside the kit, you will have a bag of hot Cheetos. You will have a spatula. You will have a DIY pot holder that you can decorate. You will also have an apron that you can decorate. You will also have the directions for what Cooking with Ross is going to do. We have vegan mac and cheese, and we also have apricot glazed chicken. And you will also have a sheet that kind of gives you more information about our kit. There will be other ingredients that he talks about. They will not be in the kit, but you're welcome to purchase on your own some of the ingredients that he talks about that are not in the kit at Apple Valley, that's here in Battle Creek, or Something Better Natural Foods. Or you can even substitute with other foods of your choice. So we are so excited for you to be able to see our video today, Cooking with Ross. We know you're going to enjoy it. Thank you, Thomas, for doing this for Willard Library. He is a native of Battle Creek, but now he lives and works out of town. So hope you enjoy it.
In the kitchen, we're about to cook up some stir fry. Oh wait, hold on. What? Oh man, we ain't making no stir fry. That's all right. We can't have music because we want you to be focused. So, without further ado, I know y'all want to hear the Migos. I'm sorry. Y'all listen to that when you get done cooking. Because today, we are bringing something special to you from the great people at the Willard Library there at Battle Creek, Michigan. Before we get started, I'm going to give a shout out to all of you there because that's where I grew up. So I'm going to give a shout out to Ann J. Kellogg. Whoop, whoop. And I'm going to give something to those Northwestern Vikings. Whoop, whoop. And BC Central, those Bearcats. Whoop, whoop. And for all of you who are in high school, you got to think about going to Michigan State. Or Ferris State. We'll give y'all some love too. But either way, I'm just glad that you're here with us today. I am Chef Ross, and this is Cooking with Ross. And I'm honored to be here to give you some healthy options on what you can eat. Okay, so thanks to Stephanie Boyd and Alicia Doherty for putting this together and allowing me to be here, and you're going to be cooking with me today. So you should have all received the ingredients of what we're going to be making, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. So, actually, let me show you what the ingredients are, and we'll go ahead and get started. What we're going to make today is an apricot glazed chicken, okay? So apricot glazed chicken, I'm gonna put chicken in quotations because it's not real chicken. Again, today we're gonna show you healthy vegetarian options that still taste good, baby. Good, good, good. So here we are. This right here is called Chickettes. Now you can find this in Battle Creek at the Apple Valley store off Beckley Road. They carry this. It's made by Worthington, and as you can see, it is vegan. So who knows what vegan means? Yeah, I'll give you a pause so you can see who knows what vegan means. It's different from just being vegetarian. So actually, what'd you say? I think you had it. Oh, you almost had it. But actually, vegetarian is I'm not eating any animal products. Vegan takes it another step further because that means I'm not going to eat anything associated with an animal. Like I'm not going to even drink milk because it comes from a cow or a goat or something. Or I'm not going to even eat eggs because it comes from a chicken. You know, some people get really extreme. They say, I'm not going to even eat honey. It comes from bees. So you have different levels, but vegan means no association with an animal at all. Those are some just historical facts. I want to educate you on healthier eating, and also I know you're going to love this. So that is a great product. And what we're going to do, we're going to bread that with cornflake crumbs. Shout out to Kellogg's, baby, because you guys make the best cornflakes. Now, you really don't want to go to the grocery store and buy a box of cornflakes and crumble them all up like that. You can actually go to the baking section, you know, where the shake and bake is, the flour and sugar and all that. You can go and buy a box of cornflake crumbs by Kellogg's. Looks like this. We put them in a jar. But you can find this Kellogg's cornflake crumbs. And then we're also going to make a glaze with it. And the glaze is Smucker's. I like Smucker's. It's apricot preserves. You don't have to buy Smucker's. You can buy any brand. But I like Smucker's the way it melts. And then also we have Thousand Island dressing. I got the Wishbone, but you get Kraft or any kind that you want. Okay? But one reason why I wanted to show you that is because Thousand Island dressing, I know it doesn't sound good mixing that with jelly, you know? But hey, you gotta eat peanut butter with jelly, right? Some things, when you mix them together, they come together and it tastes delicious. And this is gonna taste delicious. I guarantee you're gonna love it. But what I wanted to tell you is Thousand Island dressing has like some egg in it. So therefore, this is not gonna be a vegan recipe. It will be vegetarian, but it won't be vegan, okay? So because of that, I might just go ahead and do an egg wash for my chickens. That means I'm gonna beat an egg and just make it stick. I'm gonna make the cornflake crumbs stick to these chickens. Now, if you wanna keep it vegan, you can do that, just don't add the egg, right? Or any dairy. And you can fry this just like chicken. Season it up just like you would a nice wing or a leg, and you can eat this and keep it vegan. So the dish that we're gonna make today is not gonna be vegan, but it will be vegetarian. The other dish that we're gonna make is a vegan mac and cheese. Whew. Who out there loves mac and cheese? Yes, indeed. Mac and cheese, you think about it, the cheese makes it taste good, right? But what I'm gonna show you is how to make a cheese sauce without egg, without milk, without dairy, and without cheese. It's gonna be like raw. And I'm gonna show you how we do that. And you can bake that just the way we're gonna do it. But today, because you want something special, I'm gonna jazz it up for you. And I'm gonna add some of those Flamin' Hot Cheetos, baby. I actually opened the bag and I had to test it out. You know, it's good to taste your food while you're cooking snacks. So I'm gonna add some Flamin' Hot Cheetos in there so you can have a nice vegan mac and cheese, but that has some dairy in it, so it's not gonna be vegan if you add that. But you can bake it just the way I'm gonna show you. If you don't add the Cheetos, it's totally vegan, okay? But I'm gonna crumble some of that up just for you guys and make it special for you. And then the last thing we're gonna make is a nice broccolini. I know you guys probably love broccoli. You probably put butter and salt and throw it in a potato or sour cream and all that. But this is not actually broccoli, it's broccolini. See how long these stalks are? It's a little different. It is broccoli, I mean. But what we're gonna do is just steam this with some garlic and some onion, and that's pretty quick. We're gonna do that near the end. All right, we have any questions out there? If you got a question, raise your hand. I'll see you live and answer all your questions because it is what, Monday, August the 9th? A little after 11 o'clock. We're gonna have you in and out in maybe 45 minutes. So by noon, hey, you'll be eating and grubbing and enjoying some good food. All right, so now that we got our water boiling, you see that? I'm gonna add a little bit of sea salt in here. Now, on your recipe, it says pink Himalayan salt. You don't really need to have pink Himalayan. That's kind of hard to find. But I do love cooking with sea salt, okay? So, what I like to do is add a little bit of oil and a little bit of salt in my water because I don't want my pasta to start sticking, okay? And I'm gonna give you a secret what you can do with your pasta, okay? So that it doesn't stick. You wanna get it nice and al dente. So you guys don't know what that means. That means it's not fully cooked. It's kind of 80% cooked, put it that way. So I'm gonna add my elbow macaroni in there. And then you wanna get out your spoon or spatula. You wanna make sure you stir this, because if you don't stir it in the kitchen, then it might stick. So you wanna make sure you keep it boiling, stir it, keep it stirring it, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep this boiling and I'm gonna keep my eye on it, but I'm gonna bring you guys back over to the other side. And what I'm gonna do is show you how I'm gonna get this sauce ready, okay? So I'm gonna cover this up for a second. And then I'm gonna turn this eye on over here, because this is where we're gonna get our sauce, our glaze made. You know, and what you wanna do is go ahead and get the same ratio. So that 1 jar of Smucker's, this is 18 ounces, okay? So, pop, look at that, brand new jar just for you. Go ahead and get your apricot preserves open, and you wanna dump the whole thing in the pot, just like this. So what I wanna do of that, I'm gonna make sure I keep an eye on the heat, because I don't want that to stick. What I wanna do is just liquefy it a little bit. Okay, so like I said, you gotta keep your eye on your pasta too. So we're multitasking now. I wanna stir this so it doesn't stick. It was jealous, it was trying to warn me. You hear it, it was like, come on, you stir me up. So I had to come back and give it some love. Here we go, pasta has love. Here we go, we give you some love, see? So now I'm gonna come back, because what I'm gonna do, I wanna turn my jam, my jelly, my apricot preserve, into a liquid. And that's why I'm gonna keep stirring it. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm taking my Thousand Island dressing, same bottle, this is 15 ounce dressing to 18 ounce apricot. And I'm gonna just pour it all in here together. You're like, ew. Who's gonna say, ew, that's gross, Thousand Island with jelly? This man is crazy, who is cooking with Ross? I gotta tell you though, when you make this here, folks are gonna love it. Even if you do real chicken, or, you know, this is a nice sauce that you can put on almost anything and it tastes great. It may sound gross, but it tastes delicious. And you're gonna see that in about an hour, okay? So you wanna keep your eye on that and bring them both to a liquid. And this recipe right here actually is world famous, because I used to feed ambassadors from Egypt and Israel and Great Britain and all around the world. When I worked for my previous job, we served ambassadors and presidents from all around the world, and we served them this vegetarian dish, and they absolutely loved it. Here we go. So what I'm doing, I'm just gonna keep on stirring this up, and once the pot gets hot, I'm gonna turn the eye down on like medium and just keep it liquefied. So here I am, I'm gonna come back over here to my pasta, because I turned the eye down. I'm not gonna boil this high on a high temp, okay? I just turned my eye down. You can see it's pretty down like onto medium now. So I don't really have to boil it because the water is hot. I just wanna let it sit in here. And like I said, I'm gonna cook it till it's al dente. Al dente, baby. So here we go. While we letting that cook, and we're letting our sauce liquefy, look at that, it's starting to get a little bubbly. You see that? When you start to see some of those bubbles in there, that's when you want to stir it up. Let's zoom down in there. Yeah. Just keep stirring it up. You see, you still got these big chunks of apricot jam in there. So we're gonna just keep this stirred up until it turns into a liquid, okay? Now, cooking is a process, of course, so it's all about timing. You wanna time everything to be done like at the same time, so it all comes out hot and fresh. So because we're gonna bake our mac and cheese, I'm gonna go ahead and get my oven right. So here I am, I'm gonna put it on bake. I'm gonna put this baby on 375 and start. So what I'm doing now is preheating my oven, so it'll be nice and hot and ready for when it's time to put it in the oven. So when I finish doing my macaroni noodles, finish cooking this sauce, then I'm gonna go ahead and get the chicken all fried up and ready, okay? Now there's a few little chunks in there, right? But most of that is liquid. See that? It's all the liquid. Look at that. Now, you don't want to taste that because that stuff is super duper hot and sticky. It'll burn your fingers. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna turn it down on low, and I'm gonna put a lid on it, okay? So what you can see how low the flame is? I'm just gonna cover that and keep it down on simmer so it doesn't burn. This is a colander. You seen one of these? You have one at your house? Basically, you're gonna pour all your noodles in here. The holes are gonna let the water drain off, and the noodles are just gonna sit here, okay? And that's where I'm gonna show you a secret. Actually, I'll tell you what it is. Don't tell anybody else. I'm gonna pour some ice cubes on top of my pasta. That's gonna keep it fresh. It's not gonna let it stick together. You'll see that in a few minutes. Put this off to the side for now. Put it right there in the sink. Sink is all nice and clean for you. And here we go. I'm coming back to the pasta. I'm stirring it. It's almost al dente. See, you don't want it hard where you're gonna bite and chew it. And you don't want it fully cooked, because remember, we're gonna bake it. So if you look at that, that's not quite ready. All right, keep your eye on it. It usually takes about 6-7 minutes maybe. Depends on how high your heat is. Again, I turned mine down pretty low. Take its time cooking. So what I'm gonna do is come back on over to the main table. We're gonna do this chiquette with an egg. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna beat 2 eggs, baby. Beat them like they stole or something, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to pull this chicken apart. So what I'm gonna do is get a little bowl out and a fork or a beater. I don't need a fork. If you have a blender or a whisk, you can use that. That's a whisk right here. If you don't, a regular old fork will do. A regular old fork will do. Just go ahead and crack that egg. Make sure you don't get any shell in it. Right out. Look at that. Crack the egg. There's 1. And here's 2. Yeah, like a stir fry, baby. You know, eggs going stir fry. It's a good question. I'm not sure if I even know the answer. I guess it's one of those where you can't go wrong. Chicken or egg, whatever God made. I know it tastes good though. You guys like eggs? You like them scrambled? You beat it like this if you want it scrambled. Or you can cook them like sunny side up. Just crack the egg right into a hot pan. Or like I'm doing, I'm making an egg wash. Now sometimes people add a little milk to this. And you can do that. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna beat the egg like this. And then I'm gonna open up my chiquettes. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna bread it, okay? There we go. Put that out to the side. So here we go. This is my chiquette. I'm gonna get me a little pan over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut my chiquette open. And when you buy this at the grocer, if you go to Apple Valley, it's in the freezer section. So this roll is actually frozen when you buy it. So I had to let it thaw. And proper thawing, you don't let foods thaw at room temperature, okay? You don't wanna do that because room temperature is a cooking danger zone. You wanna thaw it at 40 degrees or less, like refrigerator temperatures. Refrigerator should be under 40 degrees, okay? But above 32, because 32 degrees is freezing temperature, okay? And boiling temperature, for those of you who didn't know, is 212 degrees, okay? So what I did was I broke some of this off. You don't want to cut it. You want to get that texture. I broke some like that, and now I'm breaking it in another half just like that, okay? So what I'm doing, I'm breaking a piece like that, and then I'm breaking it in half just like that. That's a good sized piece. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get that into our egg wash just like this. Just like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and get it breaded in our cornflake crumbs. So I just checked my sauce. It's still nice and liquefied. It's not sticking. So I'm getting my cornflake crumbs out. And here I am. I'm putting my cornflake crumbs right there. And now what I'm gonna do is get a little bit of this egg on all of my chiquette. Just like that. Just like that, drip it, let it drain. And then I'm just gonna put it in my cornflake crumbs, okay? So I got egg all over it. And what this is gonna do is help it stick, okay? You don't have to do that because those chiquettes are great. Again, if you don't put the egg on it, it's gonna stick anyway. And I'll show you. Look at this. This one doesn't have much egg on it yet. But if I take it like that, put it in here, and I squeeze it just like that. Just squeeze it on there, it'll stick, okay? but it won't stick as good as it does when it has egg on it. Look at the difference. This one has some egg on it, and look at that. It just sticks on here. So now let me check my pasta. Yeah, there we go. Al dente. You see that? It's almost cooked. It's like 80% cooked. Look at that. You can actually chew it. It's not hard and crunchy anymore, but it's not fully cooked either, because we're gonna let the oven do the rest of that. So what I'm gonna do now, because my pasta is nice and al dente, is I'm gonna go ahead and drain it in my colander, and I'm gonna put some ice on it so it'll be ready. Okay? So get your oven mitts, because the pot is hot, and go ahead and dump it into the colander. Here's my oven mitts. And I'm gonna bring this right here on over, and ta-da! Boom shakalaka. So what I'm gonna do, first you can do is get some water and drain it. This gets all the starch off your pasta, okay? So when you do that, I'm rinsing it, and then I'm gonna shake it. Shake what your mama gave ya. I'm shaking it, baby. There you go. I'm shaking it, I'm draining all that water off, you see that? So what I'm doing is getting the starch off of there. You know, I'm gonna leave some of it on there because it's gonna be mac and cheese, baby. You want it kind of thick anyway. So now that I have that like that, I'm gonna go ahead and get a little cup of ice like I told you. I'll get it right here from my refrigerator. Ice. I don't need a lot. Just a little bit. Here we go. Flat out. Y'all learned the secret from Cooking with Ross. See, I got my ice on there. That's gonna, again, keep it from sticking, keep it nice and fresh. Now, if you don't have a deep fryer, you can always get a pot or get your skillet or something else to fry this up. I have a deep fryer, so I'm actually gonna use that. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my deep fryer on 350 degrees. I put some oil in there earlier, save a little time. I'm gonna add some more in here, okay? There we go. I'm gonna get that ready, but before we even start frying, what I'm gonna do, move this out the way, I'm gonna get my blender ready and get my sauce ready for my mac and cheese. That way I can go ahead and throw that in the oven and let it start baking. This is how we're gonna make our sauce. You have the ingredient list in front of you, and what the first thing you wanna do is add your raw cashews, okay? And you wanna use 1 cup, okay? And these are raw cashews. You don't wanna get cashews that are already seasoned and salted, like the kind you eat like a snack. You wanna get them raw, okay? This is gonna give it a nice consistency, a nice smooth blend in your cheese sauce. So here we go. Get your measuring cups out. Here you go. There we go. Get a 1 cup of cashews, dump it in your blender. Just like that, okay? And then what you're gonna do is get 2 cups of water. So just go ahead and use your regular old tap water. Doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. There's 2 cups of water. So 1 cup of cashew, 2 cups of water. 1 cup, and another cup. There you go. Cashews are in, water is in. And now we're gonna get 1 cup of vegetable oil. Use any kind you want, but I like Crisco, baby. Here you go. Vegetable oil, you get a cup of that, and pour that in. Now, y'all see that? Any questions so far? Raise your hand. I'll be able to answer them for you. All right, so now we're gonna add some good seasonings in there, and we're gonna add red pimientos. Red pimientos. You guys like olives? The little red stuff that's inside? This is a 4-ounce jar of red pimientos, just like the recipe says. Add your red pimientos in there. Now, what does red and yellow make? If you mix the colors red and yellow, who knows what color that makes? Yeah, I think I heard somebody say orange. Wasn't quite sure, but I think somebody said orange. So here we go. here's a little lemon. And this is a lemon juicer because I don't want any seeds in it. So I just want the lemon juice. And like I said, don't be using that fake stuff. You can go buy the little fake lemon if you want to. But I love doing fresh lemon juice. So anytime you're cooking, the more fresh you can do it, the better, baby. The more fresh, the better. So here you go. You can measure it out if you want. Now this right here is a ½ tablespoon. And like I put in your ingredients for your lemon juice, I said 2 tablespoons. So here you go. Here's 1. I mean, that's a half. So that's a whole. So that's why you know, basically 1 lemon will go in there. So it's 2 tablespoons, okay? And so what you see on your ingredient, that capital B, the T capital B, those are tablespoons. And when you have the little, like the TSP, those are teaspoons, okay? Tablespoons are more than a teaspoon. So here you go. Dump all that in there, and I'm showing you. Normally I'll just eye it, but I want you to see everything from start to finish, okay? So now I got my red pimento, and I got some yellow in my lemon juice. What color do you think that's gonna turn? So the other thing you wanna add to that is this. This, achote, this is a nice, like Hispanic flavor. It's ground annatto. This is like from the ground, from the seed. If you can't find that, then you can always go to your local grocer, go to the international section, and you can buy some Sazon. This is by Goya. I stopped using Goya for a while, but I'm gonna use it today, okay? It's basically the same thing, but you wanna add that in there, okay? And if you use the packet, I like to use 2 of them. Get some flavor, baby. Flavor in your food. Just add that in there. That's gonna also help to get that nice orange macaroni and cheese color, okay? So now we're gonna add some flavor in here. So when you wanna add some flavor, you wanna go ahead, we talked about onion powder. Now you see how much I told you guys to use, and you can use that. But I like to over season mine and make it taste really, really good. Again, here's a half one here. So I'm gonna pour some of that. If some of it over spills my spoon, I'm taking into account for that. So I'm gonna add, boom, one of those. That's a half. So this right here is making it about a whole. So right there is a whole tablespoon of onion powder. And I know I put teaspoon on your ingredient list because I don't know how much you like onion powder or garlic powder. And like I said, I like to over season it. So that was onion powder. Again, that's not onion salt, it's onion powder. And this is garlic powder, not garlic salt, okay? You don't want it too salty, but you want the flavor. Here you go. And another one here we go. Boom. So now I got my onion powder and my garlic powder in there. And now I want to come back with a nice heaping teaspoon, tablespoons of yeast flakes. 6 big ones, baby. Use your measuring scoop. And this right here is called Bragg's Nutritional Yeast. And I think I told you can also use Brewers. Whichever nutritional yeast you can find in your store, nutritional yeast gonna give it some nice texture, okay? And you wanna be really generous with that. It actually tastes really good on popcorn too. Pop some popcorn and sprinkle this on it. That's some good carrying on, okay? So measure this out. Again, use your recipe. It's 6 tablespoons, so that's about what I'm putting in here. Using a different measuring. I really like putting that in there. So sometimes I just like to overdo it. That's gonna be good. Now, I didn't have like regular salt and all that stuff on your menu, but you can do it, season it to flavor. Like maybe the second time you try this, maybe you want it more seasoning or less. But I am gonna add a little bit of this sea salt in there, okay? Here you go. Crack open about a teaspoon, just to give it a little bit more flavor, okay? So now, you can go ahead and close the lid tight, and you can go ahead and get your sauce blended up. Here you go. Nice and juicy.
Hey,
There you go. Make sure all those cashews are nice and blended. No chunks in there. Yeah, go ahead and show them that. It's just a nice little liquid in there. And it looks nice and runny, right? But when you put it in the oven, add the heat to those yeast flakes and all that stuff, it's gonna thicken up and you're gonna be amazed at how it's gonna look just like mac and cheese. So here, I'm done with the blender because that's all I need to do with it. So I'm gonna move this out the way and I'm gonna show you how to use a knife and cut your onion. That's what we're gonna use near the end. Right now what I wanna show you is how to cut an onion. Get you a full, I like a nice yellow, sweet onion. And then cut the end off. Boom. And then you cut this end off. Boom. I'm gonna cut it in half, right down the middle. Just like that. Now you get that dirty skin off. Peel off the outside edges of your onion. Just like that. And then rinse it off. You always wanna rinse your stuff off, okay? Rinse it. And while I'm rinsing that, I'm checking my pasta over here. That ice is keeping it fresh. So rinse that off. Because who knows what the outside skin was on that onion. You don't know what it was touching. All right? I'm going to do this one too because I'm going to use some onion in my broccolini. What I'm going to do now is get my onion cut. Now, be careful with your knife, okay? Make sure it's super sharp because dull knives are really when you get cut and have injuries. So make sure your knife is sharp and you want to use your knuckles like this, like a blade, a guard, so that you don't cut your finger, okay? And a chef knife, you always want to use the back part of it, this down here. So you want to go and come down like that. And if you use your knuckle as a guard, you won't cut yourself, okay? So here you go. I got an onion there, and I'm going down like this, because I'm just going to dice it. There you go. And now I'm going to turn them sideways, and I can go right down to the middle. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all hear that boom? This one doesn't take long at all. So I'm gonna put all that off to the side. Showed you how to cut that. So now what we're gonna do is get everything all plated up, okay? So you can get your Pyrex dish or your pan. You can really get a 9x9 pan and use that because that's about what the ingredients are for. And I could show you different sizes, but because I'm gonna make two different kinds, I just pulled out a different dish to use, okay? So now I can add my noodles into my pan. We're gonna put it in the oven. And I'm making two dishes again. I'm gonna do one that's vegan, and I'm gonna do one with the Cheetos, baby. Y'all like Cheetos, Flamin' Hots? There you go. This recipe is just for you. There we go. I'm all done with that. I'm gonna rinse my hands again. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my sauce ready. Here we go. My blender. Now all we have to do is pour in the goods, baby. See how I'm pouring this sauce in here? I'm gonna share the love, put some in each one. Like that. And like I said, it looks nice and liquefied. It's like, man, that looks all runny or something. But when it gets in the oven, this is what those yeast flakes do, and the cashews, it's gonna get it nice and thick, okay? So there's my sauce. I'm making 2 pans with it. Got it? So now, this is where the good comes in. You wanna get out a wooden spoon and stir it all up together, okay? You don't wanna just have the sauce on the top. You wanna mix it all up in there just like this, okay? So stir your sauce, get it all around your noodles just like that. And then we're gonna add onion and our bacon bits, okay? Now if you want, like the second time you make this, if you want more salt or pepper, you can jazz it up. Add some more salt, add some pepper if you want some spice, but that's your prerogative. So here we go. Now I'm gonna add my onions. You see, I didn't put the onions in the blender. I didn't want to liquefy or puree all my onions. I just want those to go in diced just like this, okay? So I got my onions in here, and it's gonna taste good because these onions are gonna bake into it. So there are my onions. Then I'm gonna stir it up some more just to spread the love. Spread love. Ba, ba, da. Yeah, I don't know about that take 6. Here you go, spread love, putting the onions in there. And now I'm gonna get my bacon bits and it's all artificial. So we're not getting any meat in here. Put some bacon bits on there. You can add some more near the end, but I want to stir these all up in there. Because again, these bacon bits are going to make it nice and smoky flavor. Can you smell that? Can you guys smell the bacon bits? It smells almost like real bacon. Ooh, you guys like bacon? Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with eating a little bit of that. This again is helping you to get healthier. Do a little bit at a time. One day you might be vegetarian when you get older. Or when you go to college and you want some options and you want to lose some weight, something, or exercise. It's just all about getting healthier. And that's what we're all about today. Showing you how you can eat healthy and eat delicious too. So, I'm gonna cover it up with some foil. And I'm gonna bake it on my pan. Here's my foil. Cover this baby up. Just like that. And then, this one here is gonna get what? What am I gonna put in that one? I told you in the beginning of the show, this one is for you. That's why it's the bigger dish. Yes, those flaming hot Cheetos. Yum, yum, yum. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in a nice little sandwich bag, just like that. Because I'm not gonna put the whole Cheeto in there. My son said, man, you gotta crush it up. Spread the love, baby. I was like, man, you are a wise man. I appreciate you. So, what I'm gonna do is take his advice, crush it up, baby, so I can spread the love. So here you go. So I broke it all down. Look at that. Flaming hot mac and cheese. Here we go. That was a big piece. Let me break it down a little bit. Break it down. Now look at that. I'm gonna put that in there. Wow. That's a good, maybe a 2.5 ounce bag. You know, you can do it however you want to do it. If you really love Flamin' Hot, add more. If you don't like it, next time just add a little bit less, okay? But this right here, we're gonna put this all the way in here and we're gonna bake this baby. And it's gonna be banging. And now I'm gonna add some foil on it. And then I'm gonna get them in the oven. My oven is nice and hot. It's at 375 already. It's already preheated. Here we go. I got those covered. And now I can get it into the oven. Here we go. I think I had something on the bottom, so I'm just wiping it off. I did. Here we go. So now, get on the middle rack and get your mac and cheese in the oven, baby. And let the oven do its job. Just like that. And then you want to set your timer for about a half an hour, right? So here you go. Bake half an hour. And then we're gonna remove the foil and bake it some more. So, of course, what we're gonna do is show you how to fry up this chicken. And we're gonna do that and get it all set and ready and nice and pretty. And while I'm letting that grease get hot again, what I'm gonna do is show you how we're gonna do our broccolini. So first of all, you wanna rinse it, okay? Bring your broccolini over to your sink, rinse it. Now, it's always better if you do all this in advance, have it all rinsed. But when you watch Cooking with Ross, I'm gonna show you how to do it from scratch to finish. I'm gonna chop some of this stalk off at the bottom. I don't eat the bottom edges. You can, nothing wrong with it. But all you really want is these nice little long stalks like that. So you can actually snap them off like that. You can leave them whole, but I'm just gonna separate them a little bit, just like this. Boom, boom. And I'm gonna get a pinch of this. Pinch of vegetable oil. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that in here. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just like that, okay? And I'm gonna turn on my heat on medium. And I'm gonna get a little bit of butter, okay? Because this is the flavor for your broccolini. Put some butter on there. And if you wanna make it vegan, you can get you some vegan butter, okay? This one is vegetarian. I'm using regular old butter, that Land O'Lakes. But if you want it vegan, you can get this. See, this is Earth Balance. You can see it's also vegan. So you can do a vegan broccoli. Just use this butter, Earth Balance. Or, like I said, if you really want the flavor, can't go wrong with that Land O'Lakes, baby. Butter. But, you know, that's kind of like cream and all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of butter. That's about 1/4 of a stick, okay? 2 tablespoons. And I'm gonna liquefy that along with my oil, because what I wanna do is I wanna saute my onions first so they get nice and translucent, okay? Translucent is like getting pretty clear. I'm gonna turn the eye down a little bit so I can show them what I'm gonna do with this. This is a garlic clove, fresh garlic, baby. You know, like I told you earlier, we like going fresh. So here I am. What I do, I put a little pressure on my garlic, just like that, and it breaks apart, just like that. These are garlic cloves. So some people have garlic presses, but you can always just press it down with your hand, just like this. And that cracks it open just like that. And then, you know what? You can just push it down and peel the skin off. If you don't have a garlic press, you can just do that. Apply some pressure, smash it down, skin comes right off. Here we go. Use my knuckle as a guide. I'm just gonna slice this just like this. Just like that. Fresh garlic, baby. And garlic is good for you too. Healthy. Keeps vampires away too. Yeah, tell them about it, Stephanie. Keep the vampires away. There you go. There's my fresh garlic. That's all I'm really gonna need, because I'm also gonna add garlic salt. This again is garlic broccoli, okay? That's our recipe for today. So I got my oil getting warm. I'm melting down my butter. And here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get my onions in there, crank my heat back up. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want my onions to get translucent. I want the flavor to get on there. I'm gonna add some garlic salt in here. And I wanna over season this, because what I'm gonna do is I'll kind of stir my broccoli up in there and get it all around, all up in between the florets and stuff. So I'll put quite a bit of garlic salt on that. And then you can always season it to taste. When you taste one, you want more salt, or you can always put salt and pepper on it when you're at the table. But for this recipe, all we're gonna use is garlic salt. I'm gonna add just a small little pinch of sugar, okay? It cuts down some of the strong property. And then who doesn't like a little bit of sugar? All right, here we go. Here we go. Just a little pinch of sugar. You see how small that dab was? So now, I'll get my onions translucent. Can y'all spell translucent? Woohoo! Spell translucent, baby. Some of my high schoolers might know how. Yeah. Spell it and know what it means. I already told you what it means. So there they go. I'm getting them all nice and sauteed. And what I'm gonna do is get some water ready, because what we're gonna do is steam our broccoli. Again, if you have a steamer at home, you can use that. I do have a steamer, but let's say you don't have a steamer. I'm gonna show you how to make it, just in case. So here we go. I got my onions getting sauteed in a little butter, garlic salt, and some vegetable oil. So my onions are getting soft, and now I'm gonna add my broccoli in there. Y'all see that? And what I'm gonna do is stir all that flavor on here. Stir all that flavor on here. And we're gonna add some water to it, because we don't want it to burn. We just want to get the flavor on it. And that's why I'm gonna add a little bit more garlic salt, because we want to get it in those florets. And when we steam it and add water, we're gonna lose some of that flavor. So here we go. Add some water. Just a little bit. As you can see, that is just enough water to cover the bottom. You see that? Now what I want to do is stir all this water and onion and garlic salt together. Just like that. And then I'm gonna add my garlic. Time for the garlic, baby. Here we go. Another piece of broccoli right there. And here goes my garlic. That's gonna taste delicious. Now, a lot of people like putting cheese on their broccoli. You can do it however you want at this point. Just make it great. Make it fun and make it great. So here we go. I got my onion, my garlic salt, my garlic. Oh, I didn't put any garlic powder, did I? You can use it if you want. You don't have to. It depends on how much you like garlic. If you love garlic, add some garlic powder to it also. We got fresh garlic in there. And we got a little bit of oil. So what I'm gonna do now, because we wanna eat it kind of crisp, you don't want it too soggy. That's why we got it in here now. I'm just gonna turn this all the way down to simmer. Cover it. Done. My grease is hot, so here we go. I'm gonna add my breaded chickens in here, just like that. Now, if you're pan frying it, you can just put it so that it covers all of the meat. Put it in your pan, and then go ahead and get it in the grease, just like that. And again, this is vegetarian, it's soy, it doesn't take long to cook. Like if you're frying chicken, you might want to fry that for 10 to 13 minutes to fry bird. But when it's soy and it's like a plant-based, vegetarian like that, it doesn't take long to cook at all. So we can see your finished product. We'll share it. You can actually follow me on the gram at Ross Nation 06. ROSS Nation 06. That's my Instagram. Or you can actually check us out on home cooking. We do live cooking shows every week, and that is on Facebook. Our Facebook is called Home Cooking, or you can look up Cooking with Ross. That's me, baby. There we go. Now you got our social media handles. I got Twitter, but I don't use it too often. But here we go. See how quick that was? That's our chicken. Golden brown, look at that. That's the way it's supposed to look, baby. Just like that. Just like that. I did not cook the whole roll for the sake of time, but I did some of it just like that. And it is so delicious. Now this, you don't have to wait for your mac and cheese to be done. You can get this right here, pour it over the top. Again, you don't want a whole lot of sauce on there. You just want a glaze, just like that. Now see it's dripping on the side. I don't want to do that. Let me move this over here, because I don't want to get my stove dirty. You see how I just put a glaze over it, just like that? I don't have it soaking in sauce. You know, like a soup. It's just a glaze. It's called apricot glazed chicken. And this right here is so delicious. You don't want to do it now because your oven's like 375. But what you can do is go ahead and cover that up, and you just put it in the oven on like 200, just so it stays warm. And what that's gonna do is it lets that glaze stick to the chicken. It like cooks into it for a little bit. So you can keep it in the oven on like 200 degrees, about maybe 10 minutes, no longer than that. You don't want to cook it because it's fully done, but you want to let it just sit and stick on there and stay warm. Delicious. So here we go. That's your broccoli. This is your apricot. And when we pull out those flaming hot Cheetos, we're gonna come back and we're gonna show you the final plate and what it looks like. Okay? See you in a minute. All right, so our timer just beeped. That means it's been 30 minutes. So now we're gonna take a look at this baby. Remember, we did two of them. We got a vegan mac and cheese, and then we have a vegan mac and cheese with the flaming hot. Look at that, it's starting to get thick, baby. You see that? It's starting to get thick, like mac and cheese. Ooh, look at the flaming hot mac and cheese. Look at that flaming hot mac and cheese, baby. So it's not done. Remember, that's just 30 minutes. And one thing I want you to do, when your oven's at 375, keep the temp there, okay? And now what we're gonna do is put it back in the oven, uncovered, no foil. Throw that baby back in here for 20 minutes. We're gonna come back and take a look at it. And like I said on the recipe, ovens may vary, may take a little longer, but 20 minutes we're gonna come back and then we're gonna see what it's looking like. All right, see you in a bit. All right, there's the timer. Turn that off. It's 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and check out our goods. Yum, yum, yum. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Vegan mac and cheese. I told y'all it was going to thicken up. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, baby. There we go. This is vegan. No dairy at all. This is vegan with flaming hot Cheetos, baby. Can't wait to get into that. We're about to go ahead and plate it up for you so you can get your grub on. See you in a bit. All right, so here we are. I've gotten my mac and cheese ready. Look at it, I scooped it all up so it'll be nice and pretty for you. This is the flaming hot mac and cheese. And here we go, flat out. Look at those bacon beats in there. That's the vegan mac and cheese right there, baby. So let me get a little bit of garnish, make the plate look pretty, and then they can eat. Here we go, look at those flaming hots. Look at that. If I turn over there, look at all that. Yummy, flaming hot. Let me add a little bit of garnish on here. Make it real pretty. Gotta add a little red. Make it blend with those flaming hots. I could put a few raw flaming hots on there so they know what they're eating. How's that look? Yummy, yummy, yummy. Here we go, baby. This is your vegan mac and cheese, your garlic broccolini, your delicious world famous apricot glazed chiquette, and the flaming hot vegan mac and cheese. We want to thank you guys again. Woo, it's hot in the kitchen. Again, I don't have any hair, so I can remove my hat. For all the rest of you, go ahead, we can relax and get ready to eat. So I'm gonna come out my chef coat because we are getting to throw down, and I hope you are too. As soon as your food comes out that oven, just let it sit for about 5 minutes and go ahead and do like Pac-Man, baby, and gobble, 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 get your grub on. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, Battle Creek. I'm coming home to see you soon. And I love Willard Library. Thank you, Stephanie and Alicia, for allowing us to do this for you. Enjoy, bon appetit, and here's to healthy living. God bless.